Hi, everybody, and welcome to our first Coaches CatChat of the year for the Linfield men's soccer program. Joe Stewart out here with head men's soccer coach Andy Duvall. Coach Duvall, how you doing today?
Yeah, it's a great day. Love being out here. The sun's shining. Everybody's enjoying the fact that we're continuing to have warm weather into almost September. So, yeah, we're looking forward to everything we get to do this week.
Yeah, it's good. How could you ask for to start the season with any better weather than this? Hasn't been quite too hot, but yeah, it's been perfect weather out here in the Willamette Valley to get the soccer season started. So you guys are just a few days away from your first match of the year against Multnomah University this Thursday. How have the first couple of weeks, barely even 2 weeks since when they got on campus, kind of a short turnaround to get ready for that first game. How have these last week and a half been going since everybody showed up on campus?
Yeah, I think when you look at the calendar, it seems like it's a short period of time, but there's a lot you can do in the 10 to 12 days that we've had. And so we've had really packed days from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. The guys have put in a lot of time in video analysis, team meetings, training sessions. They're in the weight room regularly. So we've been able to do a lot over these first 10 to 12 days, which has done two things for us. One, it's helped us in our preparation for our upcoming early year matches, but also it's given the guys a taste. We have 17 new players, so it's given those guys a taste of what college athletics is like compared to what they're used to in the youth and the high school game. So I think we've done a good job of making sure our schedule has maximized everything that we can do, that the NCAA allows us to do within the time frame that we had, and yeah, the guys are excited about what we've accomplished so far.
So last year, your first full year with the program after the spring shortened COVID season. What are your expectations and the strides that you're hoping that this program could make here in your second full year, trying to build up from the bottom of the conference to becoming competitive again?
Yeah, firstly, just trying to grow together as a group, trying to give ourselves an opportunity to be competitive in each match. And so I think that is something that we've talked about regularly ever since the beginning of last year. And the guys that return this year, they've heard this many times, is that it's a long process to turn yourself from a program that wasn't as competitive as you wanted to be into being a program that's competitive with everyone that's on your schedule. And so we are a year closer now to being competitive with everyone on our schedule, and that is the goal this year, is to have every match go down to the wire and be as close as it can possibly be. And so we have the athletes to do it. The mentality that they're displaying early on here is very representative of a program that can be a competitive program in each match. And so, you know, the planning and the preparation are part of it, and then the final piece, the performance, is what the guys are looking forward to doing each day when they get to set foot on the field with a uniform on and compete against someone else. So making sure that we are competing in every match and keeping it close and winning the ones that we know we're capable of winning.
Last year, it seemed where the team performed most consistently was on the defensive end, especially over those last few weeks of the season, really starting to come together on that side. You're returning pretty much every guy that saw regular minutes in that position group. Do you expect that the defense will once again kind of be not the calling card, but the most stable part of the game plan going forward this year?
Well, it has to be. It's a third of the game, right? There's three areas of the game: defense, attack, and transition. And so for us, we have to be strong defensively in order to be able to be productive transitioning into our attacking play. So yes, I do expect it to be something that we are very good at. We need to be organized and strong in that effort. But we are looking to add quite a few new pieces to our attacking phase. And we have a lot of young guys, new guys, that are going to help us with that. So many of the guys that saw the most attacking minutes last year were seniors. And so we have a lot of new faces that are going to be trying to kind of debut their college competitive years now this year as an attacking player. But the team's wide open. It's a very wide open roster right now, and the guys know that. They're competing every day to try and get in that first 11 group. And it's going to be fun to see how well our attack can develop this year to build off of the success that we had in those last 5 games defensively last year.
Yeah, that's great to hear. You do return your leading scorer, Seamus Miller, who he only played in 11 matches and still ended up as the leading scorer. Other than that, it did seem like a lot of interchangeable parts, let's say, last year on offense. So more of the same kind of this year as younger guys still try to figure out their roles and understand the system up top?
Yeah, it's being very, very honest. Last year, because of injury, because of some other things that were off the field concerns and things that went on within the team and trying to develop this program into something more competitive, there were guys that didn't see the minutes that they would have hoped to have seen. but it wasn't always about playing performance. I mean, unfortunately, there were a lot of things that contributed to certain players just not being able to get on the field as much as they wanted. I know Seamus got into 11 matches, but if you add up his minutes played, I don't know what it is offhand, but I would guess he played maybe the equivalent of potentially 5 collegiate matches last year, and I think he finished with 4 goals last year, which that's a pretty good turnaround for a kid that is playing in his first competitive college season, because his first year was the COVID year. So, yeah, Seamus, we expect a lot of good things from, but we expect a lot of good things from a lot of our guys, because the bar is being raised. And so it's going to be a different year in a lot of different respects in our attacking phase of the game.
When you're going into a year where things are wide open and opportunities could be had for players up and down the roster, how does that change the mentality of each player in training camp, in practice, compared to going into a season where everything may already be set in stone?
I don't know, because I don't know that I've ever run a team before where you didn't make it wide open early on in the year. I mean, it's always a best man gets the job environment, and that's a week in, week out endeavor. You don't have players that are just going to be immediately on the team sheet just because of who they are. And so I'm not sure I can answer that question intelligently, to be honest, because we've always presented this program as each week you have to earn your spot. And so that hopefully keeps guys competing week in and week out. And yeah, towards the end of the season, you definitely have some players through the process of attrition that play more minutes. Maybe they were fitter at the beginning of the year, so their bodies held up better as the year went on. But I think everybody puts everything they can into every training session right now. And so it's a competitive environment from the word go, and it doesn't stop. And so I think the mentality is always the same in our program.
You mentioned the 17 incoming freshmen, a pretty large recruiting class. What excites you about this class? And I imagine the bulk of them will probably see most of the action in reserve matches, but is there anyone that you think could make an impact on the varsity level right away?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think more than half of that class can make an impact in the first team level. And they were told that as recruits. They were told that they were expected to come in and immediately perform at a level that got them minutes on the field. And there's 2 reasons for that. One, to make sure that the returners don't become comfortable, that they know as coaches, it's our job every year to bring in players that are, in our minds, better than what we have. Otherwise, our programs become stagnant. We constantly have to recruit good talent and good mentality people, right? And secondly, for us, it's about those players feeling excited about the opportunity that they have. And every one of those 17 players has the same opportunity. Sure, some of them based on skill or fitness level or intelligence are going to rise above others. But our first team will include freshmen, absolutely. And that was the intention.
That's exciting to hear. I'm sure it's going to be an exciting start to the season as things still are shaking themselves out, and all the fans and, of course, you, the coaches, are still seeing where the answers may lay going down the year. But just real quick, as we look ahead to the start of the season, you start your schedule against 3 tough NAIA squads. Those Cascade Collegiate Conference schools can always be a tough opponent. What are you going to be looking for against Multnomah, COI, and Eastern Oregon?
Yeah, I think more than anything is the guys, again, being able to compete at the level that is the highest level they can achieve right now. And we will have an idea as coaches of what that level should be, and we'll express that to the kids going into each match in training sessions leading up to it and in pregame discussions. But making sure that they're reaching the potential they're capable of reaching. And every game is wide open at the beginning, right? So Multnomah, Eastern Oregon, College of Idaho, we expect them to give us our best game. And if we can best them on the day and come out with the result, it won't necessarily be because of what they do not do, but because of what we do.
That's what we like to hear. Once again, the Wildcats open their season this Thursday right here at home in McMinnville, Oregon at 7 o'clock against Multnomah University. Following the conclusion of the women's match, we'll have live coverage of that and every home Linfield soccer match all season long on the Linfield Sports Network. Coach, thanks for the time and good luck this season.
Thank you, Joe.